And I will be your host today as well as your moderator. So, some patience. Minutes to get us started. So sooner today. Today, Weave podcast, and I'm really excited about that. Sorry, I'm trying to moderate at the same time. There we go. At 9 a.m. right after the live divination, and it's going to be super duper awesome. I'm so excited because we talk. Oh, you guys can't hear me. I apologize for the tech issues. Let me sort that out.
How does that sound? Does that sound a little bit better? Are you able to hear me? I switched my microphone to my other mic. So, how's that sounding? Oh, good. Yay. Okay. Awesome. Well, good morning. So I was saying that we have Wisdom in the Weave tomorrow. I'm really excited for that. Awesome. Yay. Yeah, I plugged in my microphone. I got like an actual microphone because my laptop microphone is not great. Uh, I just had to switch that over. So, yeah. And we'll be talking about what is this month? July. We will be talking about how we feel about sharing our accomplishments, right? Because that's what we're talking about at the Resource Center. throughout the different courses this month on different like levels. It's very cool. So the Unbound are excited to share with you their experience tomorrow, right after the live, or well, about 30 minutes after the live divination to get ready for to give us transition time so we can all get backstage and make sure our microphones work and all of that. And we'll be there right afterwards. And we go for about, what is it, like an hour? I think it's about an hour. And then it'll be out in a podcast afterwards. So I'm just so excited. I love Wisdom in the Weave so much. It is so much fun to get up here and have these conversations live. I swear every time the Unbound, like any of us get together, we're like, man, we should have recorded this. This would have been a great podcast. Like almost every time we have a conversation with even just two of us, really. So what else is going on? I also have my astrology workshop tomorrow. Super excited for that. This month is going to be Leo, the fifth house, and the sun. And we're getting into it. We're talking about your expression. We're talking about your movement. We're talking about how you feel about taking up space. We're talking about places where you're creative in your life. We're talking about how you embody yourself. Actually, I'd say how you embody your expression, I would say. Like, we'll probably touch on Mars a little bit, but, you know, we always go all over the place. It's really fun actually doing those workshops because Celestial Connections, which is what my astrology workshop is called, which is on the website, and I totally should have a widget for that, but I don't quite yet. But you can go to the community app and find it in the events, in the widget up there. So Celestial Connections is a workshop that is about learning how to learn astrology, right? I'm not necessarily teaching astrology in a traditional sense of the word. And that's why I didn't call it an astrology workshop this year. I was like, it's Celestial Connections, because what we're doing is helping you make your own connections with your own archetypes and helping you to point out when the energy of the houses, so oh, I'm feeling this type of way, or I'm perceiving this type of way. I think I'm engaging from this archetype. I think I'm engaging in this house right now. How do I want to engage more mindfully? Would be kind of the goal of the workshop. So I'm really excited for that. Okay, well, we've been talking for about 6 minutes now, although I think about 3 of that was just me trying to figure out my microphone. So that's fun. So why don't we go ahead and get started? Thank you, Crystal. I love those workshops too. We always have such a great discussion in the Celestial Connection workshops. And it's once a month, and we dive into each archetype, each house, each planet, and we take it slowly over time. I could talk this whole divination ceremony about my Celestial Connections workshop. But I'm not going to do that because I'm also curious about what we're going to pull this morning. So if you have an oracle deck, if you have a tarot deck, if you have a book nearby, or yeah, I would say those are probably the best ones to use, but whatever divination works for you. What we're going to do is we're going to set the space. We're going to call the elements. We're going to call in support. And then we're going to do this divination ceremony together, where I will be pulling 2 cards. One of them is, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion to our relationship with our life and our practice, so that we can focus on our intentions today in the present moment, because as witches, we are all over the timeline, right? And the second card will be, what is in shadow that I'm in resistance to or in denial of that might be blocking my flow? So that we're checking in, because we step with our shadow work first, and We're making sure that we're stepping in a way that's intentional and checking ourselves before we indeed wreck ourselves or something else. But we also embrace the chaos from that. So we're here for it. So if you have your deck and you want to make sure that you have that there, I also have a candle for fire. I have some water. I have a labradorite is my representation of earth. It's also for the intuition, right? Because divination. And then for air, oh, I actually forgot to get some incense out today. Hi, Helvy. Good to see you back. It's so good to see everybody. Oh my gosh. My favorite is engaging with you guys in the chat. So it's hard for me when I can't do that as much when I'm hosting. Let's see. Let's go with Dragon's Blood today. I'm feeling spicy. All right. So you want to go ahead and take 3 deep breaths with me, and we'll go ahead and get into the space, and we're going to talk about it. I humbly invite all that is fire within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is air within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. And I humbly invite all that is earth within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. And I humbly invite all that is water within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm blanking on the rest of this. I have to look it up. It's so funny, you know, when you say something like over and over to where it like stops being like a word. Sometimes this feels so, it's like such a habit that um you sort of forget. There it is. I just needed the first line too. I beckon to this system. May we now align as one. For my cousins are the elements, and both the moon and sun. I call to those who love me. You are welcome in this space, for our nature is united, sharing magic, life, and grace. And now we make our declaration of intention. I choose now in this moment to align with my whole self, to pull the book that tells my story from its place upon the shelf. I enter now this circle made of trust and hope and power. And I show up for my practice in this place and at this hour because I am home. You guys are so nice. I love the support that I'm getting in the comments. I just so appreciate my community. I appreciate our community, right? You guys are awesome. Thank you for holding space for me as I set space. It's this beautiful reciprocal circle of support and magic. And I just am so grateful to be a part of that. You guys are so awesome. uh okay. The thing about witches is we will get stuck in loops of appreciation. We'll go, I appreciate you. And then we'll go, I appreciate you appreciating me. And then I appreciate you for appreciating me appreciating you. It's so fun, but it is a bit of a loop, isn't it? Uh, it's my favorite loop to be stuck in. If I'm going to be stuck in a loop, that's the one I want to be stuck in. So go ahead and pull out your deck. I'm using the miniature territorial deck. I have the iridescent one because iridescence is my thing. So go ahead. I give a breath to the deck. And then I don't shuffle fancy. I can't do the bridge, or I mean that would be fun. I would love to like learn how to do that, but I drop things. And I used to think what I was dropping was for me. And my perspective on that has kind of changed a little bit, in that, like, is that like you know when you come to somebody and ask for you or no, it's better actually to say, if you know how somebody comes to you and they just start telling you what's going on, right? And you're like, do I jump into giving advice? Do you just want me to hold space for you? Uh, are you looking for compassion? Are you looking for a sounding board? Do you want me just to ask questions? And I find that what I like to do with my deck is let them know, hey, this time I'm just open to whatever. If you want to throw something at me, then like, let's see what sticks. And then there's other times where I'm like, okay, today we're being intentional. And so I will repeat my question: where does my attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion to my relationship with my life and my practice? I usually say it about 3 times. And while I'm doing that, I'm very much feeling into my body. Uh, Thank you, Kofi. That's so sweet. Uh, I so appreciate that. My energy is very much a reflection of my community, of our community. Uh, so where does my attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion to my relationship with my life and my practice? And it's like, I'm curious to see, what drops out. I definitely like to look at it, but it's the same thing as when I'm engaging in like synchronicity magic, when I'm looking for synchronicities, right? It's not just about what I'm seeing. It's about how is my body responding to it? What's going on? Like, what's the context? Nothing exists in a vacuum, right? And so when I'm just seeing things and going, okay, I guess that's for me. And I guess, like according to traditional correspondences, it means this. So it must mean this. And it's like, the same thing with the cards jumping out. It's like, okay, well, they must be for me if they're jumping out for me, but it doesn't give me a lot of context on what it's, what is it responding to, unless I was really paying attention to what I was thinking right when it fell out. So that is my thinking on the subject. Obviously, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's whatever works for you. It's the conversation you are having with your deck. So I will ask one more time, where does my attention need to be today? Actually, where does our attention? Because you guys are allowing me to pull cards. You're listening to me pull cards, but don't you dare put your authority anywhere over here. We are not accepting authority today. um, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion to our relationship with our lives and our practices? And I usually feel very good about finishing shuffling when I feel pressure. Like I feel pressure in my forehead, especially around that like seventh energy center. So, what do we have today? Let me get the prompt ready because I know you guys need that. We have the Knight of Pentacles upright. I was in a conversation with a witch yesterday and I drew the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords together. So I'm getting a lot of knights recently, personally. So because this is the miniature deck, it doesn't have an interpretation necessarily. So I'm just going to read the energy of it and we're going to feel into it and then we're going to talk about it. Definitely write down your interpretation. Definitely pull your own cards. And take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Always, always, always. So, Knight of Pentacles. And we drew it in the upright, but of course, it's about the whole card. So, efficiency, responsibility, hard work, productivity, and routine. And the reversed is boredom, perfectionism, laziness, and obsessiveness. So it's the Knight of Pentacles. I'm going to read it one more time. Efficiency, responsibility, hard work, productivity, routine, boredom, perfectionism, laziness, obsessiveness. Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. So we are in the height of summer, right? The bugs are buzzing, the birds are alive and vibrant and energized. The earth is awake and moving. What's your routine look like right now? What is your relationship with the routine during the busy season? Actually, I'm going to put out this incense. I love that it comes straight towards me whenever I'm doing magic. It's like, yes, please bless the space. But then there's also a fire going on nearby in the area where I live. I'm not in Canada though. I'm okay. But but I grew up in California, so I'm okay. But the air is very super smoky outside, so I'm trying not to breathe in any more than I have to. Put that in. Right. Right. How are you supporting your system during this busy seasoning? How are you supporting your system during the busy season? What, and also where is your sense of responsibility at right now would also be my question too. Yeah, I've been cleaning a lot lately too, Koopvi. Is it Kupvi or Koopvi? I might be pronouncing that wrong, and I deeply apologize if I am. But I always love pronouncing your name in my head. I just like something about the P and the F together is very satisfying. So I just, it's a compliment from a neurodivergent person. I actually, somebody was saying that to me recently. They're like, neurodivergent people give the weirdest compliments. Who was telling me that? I think it was one of the witches from the community that was like, it's definitely a compliment when I tell somebody that their name has a really good mouthfeel, but apparently you're not supposed to say that to people. It just had me cracking up. I was like, that's a great compliment, honestly. Um, so I side quested a little bit. But, not entirely, because I think the way that neurodivergent people experience things is such a huge factor. Like, that's why we talk specifically to neurodivergent black sheep cycle breaking witches. Like, that is what our community is geared towards, because we experience things differently than the systems that we grew up in that tried to make us conform. Um, Against our intuition, against our instinct, against our sensory needs. And so, I would even I'm starting to think about like when you have plans, right? When you make plans because your brain is like, that sounds like fun, but do you check in with your body when you're committing to something, right? And how do you support your system before you even make the plans, before you even go out to participate in anything? What do you need to do? Because what I'm realizing is my system needs a lot of support. And I wouldn't even call it a spiral, but it's really just occurred to me that I could genuinely spend the entire first half of my day trying to do a morning routine that genuinely hit every single part of my system and how they needed to be supported, right? And then I could have some lunch and then start my night routine for how much support my system could use in trying to get a good night's sleep, from everything from my environment to my body, my mind, my spirit, my emotions, right? All of those things, my whole system needs support. So, in what ways are we, how do you build a system for a neurodivergent witch that supports them? And you're not going to like the answer, because the answer actually, I mean, the answer for me, okay, let me put it that way, right? Like, the answer for me actually is laziness. Like, it actually is not being able to do everything, not being able to be perfect, and not being 100% obsessive about it, right? The the efficiency, the how do I put this? What is efficiency? What does that actually mean? Yes. Right, laziness as a form of self-care, that's something that, as a neurodivergent person, I've had to lean into. And it's not, laziness is such a judgmental title, but I also find it great for exploring the shadow work on it, because what does laziness mean? It usually means you're tired, it means you're resting, and it means that uh, you're low energy, either mentally or physically or even like energetically, right? Right. What is laziness when you take the judgment out of it? Exactly, Helvy. Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? We're scared. People are scared. So, in the comments, one of the witches said, "I keep getting attacked for slowing down in my life by family members." Um, and what I've found is, a lot of when people are scared, they will go for the source of that fear, right? Like, when they're afraid for you, they will, it almost feels like they attack you, but really they're trying to get at the fear, right? There's this relationship with, because I saw this with a lot of people in my life. When I started to slow down, when I started to take care of myself, when I started going, what do I actually need? There were people in my previous life who saw it as laziness, who watched me and thinking, you're breaking down, you're doing worse, you're, struggling. And at first I was like, oh man, I must be broken. I must be struggling. Like, there must be something wrong with me, because this is what I feel like I need to do. I don't feel like I can go back into capitalism. I don't feel like I can function in a workplace. I mean, I've been fired from pretty much every job I've ever had. Um, Trying to think, is there one I haven't been? Bright and Dark is probably it's probably the longest job I've ever had. I mean, job, it is a job, but it's so hard to call it that, because it's like, what do I do? Oh, I talk to witches. Like, that's my job, is to talk to witches. My job is to info dump about astrology. My job is to engage in connection with my coven. And it's incredible that I am supported and connected at the same time. Right. Is it a job if it's fun? Exactly. Like, what is it then? Right. Is it then a calling? Is that maybe what we might call it? Um, yeah, because I wasn't efficient at work. And I was a lot, when I was still working under capitalism, I swear I was a lot like a border collie, where it's like, if you don't give me a job, I'll find one, and it's probably not the one you want me to be doing. That is a neurodivergent brain, 100%. Because I would find things that I thought needed to be done, that were in alignment with the work that I wanted to be doing. Whether that was what people were expecting me to do at this job or not, was like completely out of left field. People were like, you need to be doing this, and I'm like, well, I'm work I don't, I don't really do that. Like, that's, I don't, sorry, I'm tripping over my words. Trying to hone in and focus. So, essentially, this card is asking, how are you grounding this crazy energy? How are you showing up to work in a way that supports your system? How are you taking care of yourself when you get home? How are you taking care of yourself? How are you allowing yourself to participate without burning yourself out? And I, especially because it's summer and everybody's like, oh, let's go on vacation. Let's go, to the beach, or let's go to do this, or, everything is moving. And especially because we're in the year of the fire horse, it's moving fast, right? Like a wildfire. Um, Naps and water. Yeah, you and I, Briar, we're on the same vibe. That is, I could not survive without naps and water. Yes. Naps and water. Absolutely. I am a big advocate for naps and water. Okay. Are you guys ready to see what's in shadow? Because I have been talking for quite a few minutes. Um, let's go there. What's in shadow that we might be in resistance to or in denial of that is blocking our flow? Yeah, I have really been feeling like I'm called to talk more. So I'm actually really grateful for this opportunity. Uh, Jen Marie is resting their shoulder and recovering, and so it's so cool to work in a space where people can show up and also where people can not show up, right? Uh, and we can all sort of like show up for each other when we can't show up. Yeah. Okay. So, when it comes to our routines, when it comes to our relationship with burnout and productivity, what is in shadow? We got the Knight of Cups reversed. I have officially pulled all 4 knights in 24 hours. So something's happening. Let me show it to you upright. We did draw it in reverse. It is the Knight of Cups. Yeah, and then you guys get different perspectives, and I think that's fun too. Yeah, we actually, for a while, there was a time where we were trying to all be on for the divination ceremony, but it was taking us like an hour and a half just to do the divination, and we were like, "Oh, this is too long. We just need one of us." um, so let me write that down so we have it. Knight of Cups reversed. So in reversed, so this is what's in shadow, what we're in denial of or in resistance to: moodiness, disappointment, heartbreak, sadness. I feel like I should be smiling, but I'm just like, this is so deeply aligned for the energy right now in so many ways. And the upright, because of course it's about the whole card: idealist, romantic, emotional, imaginative, and sensitive. When water and earth come together, right? Because we have the Knight of Pentacles and we have the Knight of Cups. Water is it's really interesting because, like, water reveals, especially when it comes to earth. I think of the waves, ocean. I think of the waves and how they like will beat away at rocks and they carve them into patterns and they reveal they reveal, right? So moodiness, right? I felt called out by the moodiness too. Thank you. Like, yeah, thank you for sharing that you feel called out too. So I'm not alone in that. um, because your emotions hold information, right? So what is moodiness but a backup of information, right? And how do I put this? I know a lot of you guys are in foundations right now. It gets easier. I need you to know that it gets easier, but the shadow work doesn't ever stop, right? I'm going through um very much a, let me put it this way. When I went to Weird Brook, what I realized is I had been putting my sovereignty into certain other people. I had been reclaiming it slowly. I had been like slowly recognizing the places where I put power over me into another space, another person, another time. And as I have whittled it down to these like last couple bits that feel outside of me, that I'm recognizing that I'm acting in a way that isn't authentic to my personal authority, I felt really freaking moody. I've had a lot of emotions come up. And I would caution those in foundations that complacency does come with shadow work, because when you start to get good at it, when you start to look forward to the shadow work, you're like, oh yeah, I know how to do this. I'm doing good. I'm totally, taking in that catalyst, and I know how to process it. You have to continue doing the exercise. I had to be reminded to do the awareness exercise, right? Where we feel the emotion in our body. And yeah, and then boom. Yes, exactly. Right. As soon as you start feeling it, as soon as you start integrating it, you're like, oh, yeah, I have to feel this all the way. This is not second nature to me. And if you don't, the emotions will back up while you're doing the intellectual work. Right. And that is how you get spiritual psychosis, is when you are only doing the mental work and you're not embodying it, because reality exists at the intersection of like like theory and knowledge, right? Like is that the best way to put that? Because theory is how we're going to interact with something. Knowledge is how we interact with it, and the information we get from the like reality of the impact of how we interacted with something. Hopefully that made sense. It did to me, but I know that I ramble. So get your ish together, witch. Like, that's what's coming up to me, is like, you're afraid of FOMO. We are afraid of FOMO. So we're doing the most that we can so that we can have the money to do things that we don't even actually want to do. We can have, or we're participating in things we don't actually want to participate in. And we're avoidant of what we actually want to be doing. How many of you are making plans to go out and do things with people when you'd rather be taking a nap? How many of you are taking your disappointment, your sadness, your grief, and going out to party with it? Are you partying on grief? Because that is a whole other, that's a whole conversation. um I have a lot I want to say, but I recognize that I'm live, and that it's Um, I don't want to get us banned on YouTube. So, how many of you need to stay home? How many of you are ready to sit with your grief? Is grief a part of your routine? Do you wake up in the morning grieving your sleep? And how often do you actually make space for that grief? Is what I would ask. Because I just started hearing that song, Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Is that the name of that song? It is pokey. I'm very I could be very pokey. That's why I interact with the guild mostly because they can take it. But I don't want to poke too much at the foundation's members because I'm like, well, no, that's not necessarily true. But I do definitely take into consideration that you guys might not be as ready for that. Um, yeah, because there's value in your imagination, right? It's not just that you need to get your head out of clouds and you need to make a stable routine, right? This idea of, that's why I asked you about your relationship with efficiency, because your idea of efficiency, I know when I when I said that, I realized that, like, I was like, no, I really just poke anybody I talk to be totally honest. But that, yeah, that's something that comes up for me, is like recognizing that I'm a pokey person, and how much do I engage in that when I'm engaging with people. Anyway, sorry. So your relationship with efficiency is important here because you you want to efficiently build the life of your dreams, right? You want to sustainably build the life of your dreams. It's okay to recognize that you've been idealizing a situation, that you've been romanticizing a part of yourself, another person, a part of your life. It's okay to be sad and disappointed, but that doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It doesn't mean that your relationship uh, with your imagination, your relationship with creativity is a bad thing or needs to be stopped, or anything like that. I lost my train of thought. That's fun. Your routine will be something that you're excited to engage in. Your routine will be something that actually supports you, and you're like, wow, holy shit, I think I just manifested a spoon. Imagine that, just a spoon out of the ether, right? My fellow disabled baddies. What if spending your spoons on yourself gave you more? What if investing in yourself is what grew your investment in any form? Yeah, I think that's the question. What Yeah, how can you invest in yourself today? How can you put your spoons into you? Oh my goodness. I love our chats so much. You guys, like, I've been reading. I can't respond to everything, but I've been reading the chat, and the conversations we have are so amazing. And I love that you guys support each other, and you guys interact with each other, and you're not just talking to me, you guys are talking to each other, and it's genuinely a community space. And thank you guys for being welcoming to whoever comes into the space. Thank you guys for supporting each other. Thank you guys for supporting me. Like, I am just feeling so much gratitude for the chat right now and the community as a whole. And if you want to participate in that community, we are looking for witches who want to actively be a part of the conversation. We are looking for witches who are ready to reclaim their sovereignty and divest from systems under the cappy pappy and move towards matriarchy and move towards discomfort and inconvenience, because those are rooted in connection. Sustainability is not convenient. Sustainability is connective, though. It's a whole different way to explore life. And we're looking for witches. So if you think this is about you, then it's about you. And welcome to the community, cousin. Actually, I love that I said coven, because that's what we're doing right now. Is we are calling in a coven of unstoppable, ungovernable witches who are ready to change the world as we know it. All right. I think that's our live divination. I so appreciate everybody, and definitely join us tomorrow. We're going to be doing another live divination. Which will you get? And Wisdom in the Weave will be about half an hour after the live. And later that day will be Celestial Connections. Yes, let the chaos begin. I love that. Thank you. Coven cousins, yeah. Thank you guys so much. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Spend your spoons on you. That is what I'll leave you with. All right. Spend your spoons on you. All right. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.